Happy Earth Day, everyone, and welcome back to another mini-sode of the Ethical Consumer Podcast. I'm your host, Julia, and today I will be sharing a couple ways you can celebrate Earth Day. And no, they do not include, most of them do not include spending any money. My favorite way to celebrate, and what I think really brings me back to why I try to live a more sustainable lifestyle, is getting outside, enjoying the earth, enjoying your local parks, going for a walk, going for a bike ride, just getting outside. It does make me a little sad every time I see a bottle on the ground or a single-use mask on the ground. And it reminds me why I try to not use those things. I've been using reusable masks. I've used a reusable water bottle for years. Once it becomes routine, once it just becomes habitual, you kind of forget why you're doing it. And then you see those things outside that, maybe someone's trash can blew over. I'd like to think that people aren't just littering, but you know what happens. While you're out enjoying your local parks or even just taking a trip just out of town, just like 30 or 40 minutes down the highway, if there's a park you haven't been to or a park that you haven't been to in a long time, take this day or take this weekend. Guys, Earth Day does not have to be celebrated within 24 hours. You can do this over the weekend and you can continue to do this throughout the rest of the year. Maybe take a trash bag with you and see if you can fill up a bag while you're on your walk. Do some good, get outside, get some fresh air, and remember why you do these things. The more I'm outside, the more I appreciate it, and the more it motivates me to have a positive impact on the environment. If you're not so keen on the great outdoors, consider getting your hands a little dirty and maybe doing some gardening, or if you're not into gardening outside, but you like houseplants, have a plant cutting party. No, we're not cutting up a bunch of plants, but maybe you have some mature plants that could have some little leaves or stems that you can start propagating. Maybe some of your friends have some that are ready to go too. Bring your plants, hang out outside, and share your plant cuttings. Maybe you have a succulent that's gotten a little too tall. If you're not familiar with plant propagation, let me assure you, I thought I had a black thumb for the longest time. And over the past year, like many people, I really started to enjoy taking care of my houseplants. And guys, I don't think my thumb is black after all. I think it might be a little green. Find one of your friends that is used to propagating plants. Maybe it's a succulent. Those are really easy. Or maybe it's something a little more challenging, like a cutting that you have to take, like a pothos, and put in a glass with water. There's different ways of propagation. I'm not here to tell you how to do that. That's for your plant friend and for Google. But find one that seems a little less intimidating, or take a gamble. Maybe try some new ways of propagating plants that you haven't done before. You and your friends will end up with more plants that you have to love and appreciate throughout the year, and maybe some different varieties that you didn't previously have. Next way to enjoy Earth Day, and this is a little preemptive enjoyment for summer. I live in the Midwest, and most of my farmers markets go on a hiatus over the winter. It's around this time that everyone starts to get excited. The vendors get excited to welcome their customers back. And everyone has the question, when does my farmer's market start? Find out now. Take today and use a little bit of your time to figure out when all of the farmers markets are in your area, when they start, where they're hosted, what you might be able to find at them. Last tip I have for you in this mini-sode. If you'd like some more, I'll be sharing more over on our Instagram and TikTok. Go ahead and check those out. We are just over a quarter of the way through the year. And if you listened to the Swaps for 2021 episode, you know I'm not a huge fan of New Year's resolutions. I think sometimes they tend to be a little bit gimmicky, but it is a really good check-in point. I love having an awareness around what I'm doing. And going through the quarters of the year is a really great way to just check in on the progress of some of your goals. So if you had some sustainability-centered goals, such as making more plastic-free swaps, recycling more, getting outside more, take a little time and jot down, okay, what did I want to do? How have I done? Do not judge yourself. We are a judgment-free zone here, but just check in and see how you've been doing. And maybe make a plan. If there's been something that you've wanted to implement and you said, I'm going to do this year. Well, we're a quarter of the way through the year. If we haven't done it yet, maybe figure out what's holding you back and make a plan so that you can achieve that goal. A few of my goals were to get outside more, which I'm happy to say I have been doing. I also wanted to make sure I switched out using a plastic toothbrush and a conventional toothpaste tube. I'm on my second different type of toothpaste since switching from the plastic tubes. And one of my podcast goals is to try out as many different kinds without being wasteful. Just anytime I need a new type of toothpaste, I'm getting something different. So I did paste in a tin. Currently, I am using the David's toothpaste in a metal tube that is completely recyclable. Do have to wash it first, and the cap unfortunately is plastic, but smaller footprint, small steps. The next toothpaste I intend to try out will be the toothpaste tablets. I will, of course, report back once I have enough products to review for you. These are, of course, not the only ways you can celebrate Earth Day. I just wanted to give you a few to go off of. Find your own ways to celebrate and let me know. Take a picture, tag us on Instagram or Facebook, or leave a comment letting me know what you decided to do. Happy Earth Day, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Ethical Consumer Podcast. We'll be back next Tuesday with a full-length episode with a guest, and next Thursday, of course, for another mini-sode. Check us out on social medias at the.ethical.consumer. We are on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and I will see you next time.